In 1988, Warren Buffett bought a pile of Coca-Cola stock. And then he did something almost no investor has the stomach for. Nothing. He just sat there. For 35 years and counting. I've spent 50 years watching investors. And I'll tell you the strangest truth I've learned. The people who trade the most usually make the least. The ones who sit on their hands? They quietly get rich. Buffett calls it lethargy bordering on sloth. He means it as a compliment. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why the hardest thing in investing is learning to do nothing at all. Right, lethargy bordering on sloth. Let's go back to that Coke purchase. Between 1988 and 1994, Buffett spent about $1.3 billion buying Coca-Cola shares. Then the noise started. The stock got expensive. Analysts said sell. The 1998 bubble came and went. The 2000 crash. The 2008 crisis. Buffett didn't sell a single share. Here's the part that stuns people. That original $1.3 billion stake is now worth over $25 billion. But that's not even the best part. Coca-Cola now pays Berkshire more than $700 million every single year, just in dividends. Think about that. His annual dividend check is now more than half of what he originally paid. And he earns it for doing nothing. So what makes nothing so powerful? Here's the uncomfortable truth. Every time you trade, you pay taxes, spreads, fees. But the biggest cost isn't money. It's timing. And humans are terrible at it. Draw, fear, sell, low, regret, buy, high, repeat. Study after study confirms it. Research firm Delbar has tracked investor behavior for decades. And the pattern never changes. The average investor consistently earns far less than the funds they own. Why? Because they buy when they're greedy and sell when they're scared. They can't sit still. As Buffett put it, the stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. The market doesn't reward activity. It rewards endurance. And that leads us to Buffett's most brutal thought experiment. Buffett once told a room of students something they never forgot. Imagine, he said, that you had a punch card with only 20 slots on it. Right, 20 slots. That's it. Every investment you make in your entire life uses one punch. 20 decisions. Total. When they're gone, you're done. Suddenly, you'd think differently, wouldn't you? You wouldn't chase a hot tip. You wouldn't panic sell in a dip. You'd wait patiently for the one pitch you could crush. Draw, wait, perfect pitch, swing hard, hold forever. That's the whole game. Investing isn't about swinging at everything. It's about the discipline to let 1,000 pitches go by, and only swing at the fat ones. Buffett had this. In 2008, while everyone panicked, he calmly invested $5 billion into Goldman Sachs. One swing. Enormous payoff. And then, back to sitting still. Here's why doing nothing works mathematically. Compounding needs one thing above all else. Time. Uninterrupted time. Every time you sell, you reset the clock. You trigger taxes. You interrupt the snowball just as it's picking up speed. $1 invested at 10% doesn't just grow. It grows on its growth. But that magic only happens if you leave it alone long enough to work. Right, compounding hates interruption. Buffett said it best, the best thing to do is buy a wonderful company at a fair price, and then be very inactive. Inactive. On purpose. This is educational content, by the way, not financial advice. Always do your own research. But the principle here is as close to a law as investing gets. So here's the one idea I want you to carry forever. In investing, action feels productive. But patience is what pays. Right, action feels smart. Patience gets paid. The market is loud. It begs you to do something every single day. Your job is to learn to ignore it. To sit still while everyone else runs in circles. Doing nothing isn't laziness. When you've bought the right thing at the right price, doing nothing is the most disciplined, most profitable decision you'll ever make. So let me ask you. What's one investment you've held for over 5 years without touching it? Tell me in the comments, I read every one. And if this shifted how you think about patience, hit subscribe. We do this every single day. Tomorrow, we're breaking down the one number Buffett checks before he buys anything. You won't want to miss it.